guys, welcome back to my channel and I'm so excited to finally be filming my K-pop shelves. Honestly, I've been wanting to film my K-pop shelves for months now, but then life happened. So as you can see, these are my 3 shelves. Honestly, I'm so happy with them. Ever since the beginning of the year, I've rearranged them a couple of times, but I'm finally happy to show you guys the results. Every top shelf has one of my old groups, so the left one has BTS, this one has Stray Kids, and this one has NCT. Then in the middle of everything is my ultimate solo artist Taeyeon. So I'm just gonna show you guys everything shelf by shelf. So I actually think I'm going to start right to left instead of left to right. For some reason I want to start with my SM shelf. So this is actually the most high up we can get. So I'm glad I can show you guys my top shelf of my SM shelf, obviously for my ult of ults, NCT. So actually one of my 2 ult biases is Taeyeon. So this shelf is actually my NCT Display shelf kinda. So you can see mostly Taeyeon. This shelf changes a lot. On the right you can actually see the latest album I have, which is Glitch Mode. Beatbox is still on the way, so this is my shelf as of now. So as you can see, my 2 top biases in NCT are Taeyeon and Doyoung. So we start off with Loveholic, Awaken and Chain, which are the 3 Japanese albums which have member covers, which obviously Taeyeon. Then we have the tour bus. Then behind that we have the limited special edition of Sticker. And on top of that we have a little Taeyeon. Then we have Doyoung's Universe cover, my light stick, Doyoung's Loveholic version. I only have Doyoung for Loveholic, not for Awaken and Chain. And I've seen Awaken, but it's quite expensive now. Then I have my favorite selfie of Dotae here. I actually printed it myself and framed it. And then on the side I have my 2 Glitch Mode albums, which are gonna be replaced probably with Beatbox. And then I have my 2 SMCU NCT albums. Actually, if you look up a little, there's my limited edition Loveholic album, which is super big and can't fit on any shelf. That's why I have it on top. Don't mind my wallpaper. So yeah, that's my first shelf. I'm actually so happy with this shelf. This is one of my favorite shelves on here because I love my display shelves. So now we go to the first actual album shelf for NCT. So next we have my first album shelf, which is actually my unit shelf. So these are all of my NCT Unit albums. Starting on the left we have 1 to 7, Superhuman, Neozone, The Final Round, Sticker. Then we have Favorite. Next we have NCT Dream, we have Reboom, Reload and Hot Sauce. I'm actually gonna stop naming them. So then we have a stack of my non-regular sized unit albums, so 1 to 7 on top. Then we have some Dream and also a wavy album, Takeoff. Then here we have my wavy albums. Then on top I have, this is actually a Taeyeon freebie I once got and I framed it because I just love how they edited it. Look how cutely this is edited. I just loved it so much, I just had to frame it. So then I have my 1 to 7 keynotes. So I have 1 displayed, which is the latest comeback. It's crazy that Favorite is the last comeback. I mean, we need a 1 to 7 comeback, but behind that are the rest of my 1 to 7 keynotes. So as you can see, we have Superhuman, Neozone, Final Round and Favorite. And then on the side we have my school kit. Then we have a little binder for resonance. Then we have a little postcard book, which is actually the back to school postcard book. Then beside that we have NCT Dream's first Japanese album, and then I have the sleeves for the Hot Sauce jewel case. And then here I have some things displayed. So on here we have my little Taeyeon back to school kit. I try to place my decorations with the things they come with. So obviously this is the school kit. Here I have my 10 keychain, which goes with wavy. And here I have my light, which came with Neozone, which is right there. So then we can go to my next shelf. So below that is my next NCT shelves. Yes, I have 3 NCT shelves, which are basically full group stuff. And then on the right side I have some bigger albums which didn't fit on the other shelf. So we start off with Empathy, Resonance, Resonance Part 2 and Universe. Then I have my NCT 1-7 and NCT Dream concert DVDs, or actually keynotes. Then I have my jewel cases, which are Hot Sauce, Loveholic, Sticker and Universe. I have actually my 10 cover there, because Taeyeon is there for Universe. Then on top of that I have, let me show you, the 1 to 7 selfie book, which they released, which is quite random. Then here I have my NCT Dream and wayv keynotes. And then behind Taeyeon I have my Resonance Part 1 and Part 2 keynotes. So this is basically my full group stack if they ever release another keynote, which thankfully they didn't for Universe. So this is my Taeyeon cover. Then before we go to the right, I have some decorations. So first of all, you have my Taeyeon Resonance Part 2 keychain. And then here I have another Taeyeon keychain, because everything is Taeyeon basically. And there was a photo card set that actually you could buy, and it came in a tin case, which I thought would be a fun decoration. So on the right I have my bigger NCT things, so basically their Limitless album, their Regulate album, the Big Sticker album, Regular Irregular, Hello Future, then we have Neozone, their photo book, their latest photo book, then we have a big NCT binder which actually filled with postcards, and then we have the Neo City photo book and live CD. So yeah, that was this shelf, and then we can go to my other SM groups which are on the next shelf. So here is my next shelf, which is basically a mixture of different SM groups. So this is my SM Town shelf. So on the left we start off with Super the superm album, and on top of that I have my Key Don't Call Me jewel case. Then we have my Small But Mighty Girls' Generation section, which I really want to expand. So we have Holiday Night, and then we have Huey's solo album, Mr. Lionheart and I Got a Boy, which is all of the albums I got, and the Little Touch Kino. Yes, that is what old SM Kinos look like. So then I have a Girls' Generation OGG selfie book. Then we have the SMCU Express SM Town version album. So then we go into bigger SM albums. So we have Key's album. Then we have the SMCU Girls' Generation version. Then we have Baekhyun's Bambi. Then we have Dio's solo album. Taemin's Never Gonna Dance Again album. SHINee's Don't Call Me. Then we have Atlantis. And then at the end we have another Taemin album, Advice. And then here on the side we have the first superm album, which is called Superm. Yes, I have all of the American and Korean versions, which I wouldn't do at this moment, but I did at the time. And in front of that I have two stamps for Taeyeon and Ten, which are my two biases in superm, obviously because NCT is my ult. But yeah, this is my first SM shelf, and now we go to my next and last SM shelf. So my tripod actually can't reach this part of the shelf, so I'm filming by hand, so if I'm shaky I'm sorry. So on the left we have my SHINee albums. So on the bottom we start with the Story of Light albums. Then above that we have Taemin's Want, Taemin's Moving. Then we have the two first Key albums. And on top we have another version of Bad Love by Key. Then we have my EXO collection, which is not a lot. So with Exodus, I think it's called Exodus, the baekhyun cover, obviously because he is my bias. Then Lotto, The War, then we have The Power of Music, Love Shot, Obsession. Yeah, basically all of the albums from Lotto on. Then we have the two other baekhyun solo albums and Obsession Kino. Then I left some space to grow my SM collection if I needed to. And then we have my DVDs, which is Exodium Tour. And then we have SHINee's concert in Japan, and then we have Girls' Generation's concert in 2015. So yeah, that's basically it for my second and last SM shelf. So then we go to the bottom shelf, which I probably should do last, but it's at the bottom of this shelf, so just let me show you guys. So on the left we have the boys albums, which I only have from review on. So we have review, I think it's called Chase, we have Thrilling, and we have Maverick. Then we have some Day 6 albums, so I pretty much have the Book of Us albums here. So Gravity, Entropy and the Demon. Then we have my two The Rose albums, Void and Dawn. Then I have 3 TXT albums. Then here we have a Winner album, some Blackpink albums, Jennie. Then we have some 80s albums, more Day 6, Woo-sung from The Rose. Then we have some VAV albums, another Winner album, another Day 6, and my only Big Bang album. 80s we have IU, which I got for my friend for my birthday because I love the Love Poem album. More Blackpink, one card album, some GOT7 albums, including JJ Project because I love this album. More GOT7. Then we have my 117 album because I loved this album when I first got into K-pop. Then we have my Triple H album, which I love this comeback. Then we have this is Blackpink. Then we have one Into It album, which is signed. And then I have my Big Bang and Blackpink concert DVDs. Actually, my wayv album for Give Me More is also signed. But yeah, this is really miscellaneous. That's why it's not really like decorated or something. This is just the bottom of my shelf. But I really love the albums I have on here. So let's go to the next shelf. So before we start the shelf off, we have the top of my shelf, which contains Yoongi and Tae from BTS. I actually got these at the Wembley Speak Yourself concert. I attended it a few years ago and I actually bought them at the concert, so these are very special to me. And obviously they're my two biases in BTS. So this shelf doesn't even contain BTS, but I just wanted to display them on top. So let's now go to the first shelf. So the first shelf on here contains two of my other ults, which are BTOB and Stray Kids. So at first this used to be my Stray Kids shelf and then I moved BTOB here. And I have some Stray Kids, but Stray Kids actually on the next shelf for the most part. So let's start on the left. So here we have my Small but Mighty BTOB collection. So we start up with Hyuta-son, which is Minhyuk's solo album, which was the first BTOB album I ever bought. He's actually having a comeback, Minhyuk. So I'm so excited. So here we have the first album I ever listened to, which is Monsta X. This is actually the oldest album I have. I don't think I'm ever gonna get some older albums because most of them are out of print. So we have the next album, then we have the Unit album, then we have Outside, and then we have the latest album, Be Together. So one thing that's actually really annoying is this is the original version of Our Moment. And then I only bought one version. This is actually the first group album I ever bought. And then I went out of print and I didn't have the other version. And this year I wanted to collect all versions. But then they reprinted it and I was so excited. But look at the difference. This is the original, which is hardcover. And this is the reprint, which is so flimsy. And it doesn't really look good next to each other. The same goes for this album. This is the reprint. This is the original, which yeah, kind of sucks. So then we have Minhyuk, which is one of my top biases and also my bias obviously in BTOB. His Men's Health cover. Then I got some decorations, which I got from my grandma back in time when I was super young. And then we have some Stray Kids albums. So this is basically my display shelf kinda. So I have Ordinary, which is obviously their latest album. I got one Ordinary jewel case from Jisung, which is my bias. I still don't have Hyunjin, which I still want to get, but he's the one that's always out of stock, which is annoying. Then I have the light stick at the back. Then I have my BT21 fan. It doesn't go with the shelf, but I thought it matched the shelf, so I put it here. But yeah, let's go to my Stray Kids shelf. So here we have my Stray Kids shelf, which is quite boring actually, because they have a lot of albums and I just put them like this. So from the left we start with Mixtape, then we have the I Am series, which I have complete. I actually started collecting all of the versions this year, so I'm still trying to catch up with the older albums, which I haven't completed yet. But I do have all the I Am albums. I do have all of the limited versions from all the albums. Ever since I started collecting them, I always bought the limited versions and I started collecting them from Mirror on. So I'm trying to get the normal versions now, so I don't have all of the Clay albums yet, but I'm trying to work on it, and everything else I think is complete now. So I finally have all of the Go Live albums, then I have all of the In Live albums. So here we have No Easy, and then we have Christmas Evil. Then on the right we have my Scars albums, which I do have the 3 normal ones, and I did buy the jewel case recently finally. Then I have the 2 No Easy jewel cases, which I have, as you can see, Hyunjin. And then I have Jisung, which I had on display but now put here. And then I have the District 9 Unlock concert DVD. So that is my Stray Kids shelf, which I want to expand because I kind of want to decorate it. And since they're now my ults, I really want to make it nice. But I don't really have any decorations like for NCT. So I'm still trying to like decorate it more. So let's now go to my old soloist, Taeyeon. So I know it's kind of crazy that Taeyeon is on this shelf because the first shelf was all SM groups, but I really wanted the Taeyeon to be in the middle on a separate shelf from all of the SM groups, because you would think I would put it with Girls' Generation, but Girls' Generation is on my SM shelf, like the mixed shelf, and for Taeyeon I have my own shelf. So I basically have all of her albums, all of her versions. She is a high priority. I collect basically every single album by her. I don't have any Japanese albums as of now, but I might collect it in the future. So starting from the left, we have I.Y, My Voice. Actually, this one, the limited edition, was my very first album I ever bought of her. And back then I also didn't buy all of her versions, so I had to find this one, and it took a lot of time, but I did find it. And now they reprinted everything, so I don't know. These are basically all of her albums, which are pretty much all of the same size until here, and then they changed up the packaging a little. And in the middle we have her limited edition IMVU album, which is so beautiful. I just had to display it. Then I have the IMVU cassette. Then we have the Purpose Kino, which is her only Kino. And then behind that I have this Taeyeon drawing which my friend made, which has Dancing Dan written on her cap, which I love so much. I got it for Christmas from my friend. This is Renee's World on Instagram. Yeah, on Instagram and on YouTube. And then on the side, I have my 2 DVDs, which are actually also Kinos, because SM usually releases Kinos instead of DVDs, from her 2 concerts. I'm still missing the Christmas concert she has. It's out of print and it's super expensive every time I see it on Mercari and such. And then we have the limited edition of her Purpose album, which I used to display, but now obviously displaying IMVU. And then this is actually a binder. I didn't have anywhere else to put it because this shelf is quite tall. So this is my trade and sale binder, which doesn't make a lot of sense, but it fits. So yeah, let's go to my next shelf. So here we have my next shelf. Wait, what's happening? So here we have my next shelf, which also has one of my favorite soloists of all time and one of my favorite people of all time, Wonho. And then we have my small but mighty Enhypen collection. So I pretty much have all of his albums except for the latest one, which I joined the group order and it hasn't arrived yet, but it also released last week, so I don't know, I didn't expect it to arrive yet. And then here we have his Japanese photo book, which is a thing. I mean, if you know, you know. But yeah, that's his photo book, which I bought from Mercari. I love it so much. Then we have a little decoration. This is actually from his concert merch. It's a photo card set which came in a tin. So I just thought I would display it. And then I saw something on Instagram and I just had to copy it. I mean, it's better to copy good things than come up with bad things, right? So I saw someone, I actually had my Instax camera. I didn't use it a lot. So I saw someone use it as a stand and put a Polaroid in it. And I thought it looked so good, so I used it for my Wonho shelf and put a Wonho freebie in it, which actually looks like a real Polaroid, so I thought it matched up really well. So then here we have my small but mighty Enhypen collection. So I have all 4 of the albums. I only collect 1 version of each album, and actually they just announced their comeback, so I'm gonna add to this collection. And then I just put a freebie in a decorated top loader, which I once got. Actually got this freebie at the Kpop Flex concert in Frankfurt, which I attended, and they gave these freebies and I just put it in there. And I do have like a candle thingy there to keep the albums standing. But yeah, that's basically my entire shelf, and then we can go to my next shelf. So we've come to the point that my tripod can't reach anymore, so now I'm filming by hand. So this is kind of a random shelf. So we start off with 2 K-drama OSTs. This one is my mom's favorite, which is Crash Landing on You. I gave it for her birthday, I think last year. And this is one of my favorites, which is Hospital Playlist Season 2. So this is for Warang, which was my first K-drama I ever watched, and my friend actually gifted this to me back in 2018, and it actually came with a postcard set, and because Tae was in it, and he was my ult at the time, she gave it to me as a gift, I think a birthday gift. Then we go into my Pentagon section, which is once again pretty small. I only collect from Positive onwards, so I have every single album except for one of them, the green one. I forgot the name at the moment, and I have 1 version each. I love this album. This will for always be on display because this concept was everything. But yeah, I just love them, and these are my favorite albums by them. And then we go on to my semi-ult, basically. They are my favorite group after my 4 ults, which is A.C.E. I've sent them ever since pre-debut, and I feel like this album will forever be rare, so I'm honestly so happy I have the Adventures in Wonderland album. I bought it when it got released, but yeah, I only got one version, which is sad because I really want the night version, and I've seen it for too much. So I might get it one day, but not today. Then I have the light stick, and once again I got a freebie and I put it in a decorated top loader which I received in a trade. That is this shelf, and then we can go to the next shelf, which is kind of interesting and not that interesting actually for you guys, but oh well. But maybe it is interesting. So this is my next shelf, which is my binder shelf. I've done a lot of photo card sorting videos in my years on YouTube, and right now I think I only have 2 of them. I will do a full photo card collection video really soon because I really want to keep track of everything I got. But these are all of my albums. So I have 2 BTS albums, 3 NCT albums, which also contains some BTS, Stray Kids, then I have my A.C.E. No, this is actually now my Wonho and BTOB. I need to change it, my SM binder, Monsta X binder, and my A.C.E. and Others binder. So once again, before we start with my last shelf, I do have something on top of my shelf, which is the BTS World limited edition box, which I can show you guys. Probably kind of dusty, but it looks like this. And I just keep it here because it's super big. So now we can go to my actual first shelf. So we finally come to my BTS part of my collection. So this is my BTS display shelf. So on the left we have my butter display, which is really soon gonna change into my proof display. Obviously I'm gonna keep these like figurines here, but I'm gonna change the albums because I want to display the newest album. But yeah, those are my Tiny 10. Yeah, Tiny 10 figurines of Yoongi and Tae because they're my 2 biases. And then I also have the exact same pose, but Funko Pops for Dynamite, they're both from Dynamite. Wow, words. Then I have the 2 tin cases for Butter, and then I have the cassette. So this is basically my Butter / Dynamite shrine. Then I have the Mephisto version of the light stick. Then I have one of the fan club thingies, which is so cool, which should I show you? Yeah, I'm gonna show you guys. So as you can see, it's super cool. You can open it and there's actually a light inside. Look how cool! So it's actually just like a look box. Is that what it's called? It's so cool. So I really wanted to display it. So this is the BTS Global Official Fan Club Army membership kit. So then in front of that I have this like stand, which is once again from the Speak Yourself tour, which I bought at Wembley, and now I have Yoongi, Jin and Jae up there because Yoongi is obviously my BTS bias. I used to have Tae and Jim in there, but I've kind of like changed it every once in a while. And then here, because it's quite large and it doesn't fit on my album shelf, I have the Mephisto 7 albums. So yeah, let's now go to my BTS album shelf. So here we have my BTS album shelf. So these are basically all of my BTS Korean albums except for 2, which are on my next shelf because I couldn't fit it on this shelf alone. So I kind of played with it. So let's start on the left. So we start up with Too Cool for School and then we go in line. This is obviously the special edition, but the reprint they did a few years ago and not the official one from 2014. I have this decoration, which is a pretty expensive Yoongi PC, but it's actually a fake, which is why I put it in a top loader and wanted to display it because I got scammed, which is okay because I didn't buy it for a lot, which is probably why it's fake. It's a lucky draw. So then we go into Most Beautiful Moment in Life part. Then we have the Love Yourself trilogy with the Love Yourself TS10D in front. Then we have the BTS World album. Then we have this stack of albums, which I have 2 jewel cases for the Japanese albums. I don't have a lot of Japanese albums because, well, I do have some, but I don't have all of them because I just don't collect a lot of Japanese albums. So these are 2 jewel cases. Then we have the Wings albums. Then I have some more Japanese albums. So these are 3 like more limited edition versions, which I prefer over the jewel case, obviously. And then I have my most special album. Actually, this was the first one I bought, but this one was the first comeback I ever witnessed, which was Spring Day. And this was my first physical album I bought in store, and I pulled Tae, and he was my bias at the time, and I just went crazy. So then I have the Dynamite cassette, and then because I didn't want to fit the rest of the albums here because I knew there was a new one coming and it wouldn't fit. I didn't like that. So I have the 2016 Most Beautiful Moment in Life Apollo concert, which is really rare right now and I just love it so much. And I also have the Wings DVD. And then here at the end, hidden, I have the Dynamite LP, but it's really damaged. It came like this in the mail, so that's why I'm kind of hiding it in the corner. So let's now go to my third and last BTS shelf. So here we have my third and last full BTS shelf, which pretty much contains some albums and then all of my DVDs and like memories. So we start off on the left with the Miscellaneous Persona albums, and then we have my B albums, my two B albums. Here I have the same story as before. This is a pretty expensive photo card, I think from Map the Soul, like the One concert DVD, and I got scammed once again and it's a fake, and I put it in the reverse shop pre-order B thingy to display it, which I think looks really cute because I love this kind of photo card even though I don't own the original. Then I put this Love Yourself, Pick Yourself wristband in front because once again when I went to Wembley, we went to the pop-up store and they handed this out to everyone who entered, and I just wanted to display it here in front of the Wembley DVD. So talking about DVDs, these are all of my concert DVDs except for the first two which I showed before. So the Love Yourself tour, Speak Yourself, Mavs 1, and then I have two Masters, Happy Ever After, and the next one, and my Suwusu, whatever DVD is coming because I joined the group order. And then here I have a gift from my friend, the same friend like before. She gifted this as an extra and she decorated it with Spring Day because she knows it's my favorite song. It also a special place in my heart because it's my first comeback. It's my mom's favorite and therefore it will always have a special place in my heart. And I just love how it looks. Then behind that we have the Permission to Dance postcard book, which normally I put postcards in my binder, but they are really thick. I did create room to grow for if more DVDs release and I can put them here. Then at the end we have my favorite BTS merch. So I have the memories of 2017, 2018, 2019 and 2020. And I'm obviously gonna get the 2021 one when it releases. And I have a Tiny 10 official phone case, which I did use and then it kind of broke, like here, it's kind of broken. And I was scared, so I decided to display it instead of using it. And I think it looks really cute on the shelf. So I do have a little bit of BTS left, but it's kind of on the next shelf. And the rest of the shelf is not really Kpop for now because I wanted to save space for later. So I'm gonna show the BTS part now. So this is the next shelf. Right here I do have some like manga and other books. For now, to like fill up the space until I get more stuff. But here I have the memories of 2019 like pre-order gift, which I have the 2021 on my desk. I have my original version 3 light stick. I have BTS the notes. Then I have the Maps the Soul 1 photo books, which I got the package with 2 of them in one. And here I have the army kit. You know the thing before which I showed, this is the photo book that came with it for the fan club. That's basically everything for BTS on this shelf. So now we can go to my last album shelf already. Oh my god. So once again we came to the part where I have to hold my camera because it's too low. So this is my pretty large Monsta X collection. I used to hold them, and when Wonho left, I did still buy their albums, but I decided to stop collecting them because I have too many other groups I collect. But I do love them dearly, so I don't even have all of the older albums because I was still in the progress of getting everything. So I do have Trespass, and then I have Shine Forever. I don't have the Clan Part 1, but I do have the Clan Part 2. I wanted to collect all versions, but I didn't really end up getting all of them. This album, then we have my favorite album of all time of them, The Connect. Here we have Rush. Then I have a signed version by Wonho, which I could put on my Wonho shelf, but it's already quite full, so I decided to put it here. Then these are all with Wonho albums, and these are the after Wonho albums, so Monsta X and Love Killer. It's not even called Love Killer, right? Fatal Love. So this is the last album I collected. Fatal Love was when I started collecting them. I do have 2 kinos right here. And then here I have Are You There, We Are Here, and Follow, which is the last album with Wonho. And then here I have their 2 English albums, which this one released this year, I think, or the end of last year, The Dreaming, which I still love their music, and I just had to buy the English release because the English music is just amazing. I do have the light stick, which I used at Kpop Flex last month, and then I have their 2 concert DVDs for the Connect and We Are Here tour, which are both still with Wonho. That's basically this shelf. And then I only have one last shelf left, which is not a lot and not very aesthetic, so it will be very quick. So the bottom shelf for my last shelf is basically storage. No, it's all of the bigger boxes. So seasons greetings, huge DVDs, like I have the D-Day calendar, but I also have summer packages, winter packages, basically a lot of BTS. But I do have my new NCT 17 seasons greetings, and I have the BTS seasons greetings. This is, for example, a winter package for BTS. Then I have the Big Bang tour DVD. Then here on top I have the deco kit. So you know, it's a lot of boxes. It's a lot of bigger things which didn't go anywhere. I have some summer packages in the back. It fits barely, so I don't know what I'm gonna do when I get my next season's greetings or my next big box, but I guess that's a later problem. So that was basically my whole K-pop collection. I do have some other knickknacks like the recent season's greetings calendars I have on my desk, and then I have some posters, and then I have some other merch items. This is basically obviously a shelf tour, so I'm only gonna show my shelves. I'm so excited I finally got to film this. I really hope you like it. Please let me know how many albums you got, what is your favorite album you own, how do you decorate your shelves. I watch a lot of shelf organizing videos and a lot of K-pop room videos, so I'm really interested. I love decorating my shelves. I love making it super aesthetic. But yeah, I really hope you liked it. If you liked it, please give me a big thumbs up, leave me a comment, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!